Orfi. I'm from Egypt. I was born in Cairo and I still train in Cairo. I'm 15 years old and I live in Sheikh Zayed City. I started playing squash when I was about 5 years old. I took 2 lessons per week and I was just playing for fun until I was like about 7 or 8 and I started competing in the national tournaments back in Egypt. So I started taking more lessons and actually focusing on squash and only squash, not any other sport. And yeah, that's how I began.
Does anyone else play squash in your family?
My sister, my little sister, she's 10 years old now and she's #2 in Egypt under 11. I didn't really choose it in the beginning. I was just like trying a couple of sports. So I tried gymnastics, swimming, tennis, and then squash was the last sport. My mom said, let's just try it. And I started hitting the ball and I was hitting it pretty well for someone who has never like held a racket and played. And the coaches said, why don't you give her a few lessons per week and we'll see where she goes from there. The World Junior Championship is my biggest title until now. It was very special for me and I'm really happy to have won it and become like the second youngest ever. So this is my first professional tournament like on tour, not on the Challenger Tour. It's quite different, the atmosphere is different, the level of play is different, so I feel I have to live up to that level and try to, because like the rest of the players, they're obviously more experienced than me, so for me to be able to play with them and compete against them, I have to be more mature, I guess, and play confidently and try to equalize with them in terms of playing and experience. So that's the main difference, I feel. And obviously it's more serious than the challengers or the junior tournaments as well. The refs and the atmosphere itself, it feels more professional.
And how do you build that confidence to play with these guys? What do you do?
I try to not pressure myself and tell myself we're here, just play your game, pretend it's like a training match, we win. Okay, we lose, it's fine, there's nothing to win or lose, we're not a seeded player like they are. And I just try to tell myself I'm good, I deserve to be like competing here because of my accomplishments, and I feel that's what gives me the push every day. So I go to school in Egypt, the American International School. I go there every day, and then after that I train from 2 to 3 hours per day. And 1 day off per week, and so I try to balance when I'm like traveling. I try to do my work beforehand or do it afterwards when I come back. I try to keep up with the work. Sometimes it's a lot, so sometimes they exempt me from a few things, but I go to school and school is just as important to me as squash. Most of the time I travel with my parents, like either one, my mom or my dad. And because I'm still 15 years old, so some countries I can't go by myself. But later on, when I grow up, I'll be traveling on my own.
And tell me a little bit I mean, it's obviously super exciting that you're now competing on the tour. You're going to compete in the World Championships in Chicago. Yeah. What are your thoughts about that?
So when I got the email, it was after my Challenger tournament in India in early Feb, and I couldn't believe myself. I was just like opening it and I thought it was just like the weekly news or something, and then they said they were like I'm selected to play. So I was like so excited, and I called my family and I called my coaches and I told them the news, because I was planning on playing the qualifying event, but thankfully I don't have to play that, and I'm going to be training a lot and try my best to hopefully do something good in the Worlds.
Obviously in Egypt there's so many great players and great women players, which is really exciting. Who were your inspirations, or who are your inspirations in the game?
There are quite a few. I feel my all-time inspiration is Nicole David. She's a legend, and she's really confident on court and really calm while she's playing, and she's 8-time world champion. From Egypt, my biggest inspiration is Noura El-Sherbini, because she started at such a young age achieving so many things, and I feel I'm following a bit of her footsteps in achieving when I'm at a young age. So yeah, these are my two biggest inspirations.
And what are your goals joining the tour? Like, what are your expectations? What would you like to do?
So for the end of 2023, I wanted to break into the top 40, hopefully by then. But if I can go and become better than that, then obviously it's going to be a win-win situation for me. For the long term, I want to become the youngest world number one and hopefully win as many world championships as I can. I enjoy training, I enjoy competing, I enjoy traveling, seeing new places, so it's all like a fun experience for me.
How would you describe your game? How do you describe how you play?
I think I'm a bit of a solid player and I'm focused. I think my game's fast for my age. I like to volley a lot and attack when I feel confident. So, yeah, that's how I describe my game.
When we see you play, it's very exciting because obviously it's not only your age but your maturity, and for us on tour it's really exciting to see you. Are there any of the players that you see on tour that you want to like beat fast, or you want to targets in there?
I think obviously I want to move up the rankings and like do a few big wins, like beat players inside the top 20, top 10. But that won't happen until I'm good enough to be able to beat them, and until I'll be able to like participate in the bigger tournaments the majority of the time, because this is like I came into here as a wild card, so I don't get a wild card in every platinum tournament or a gold event. So hopefully when I become inside the top 50 and 40 and I can participate in these events, then it's going to be more frequent and I don't have to wait a long time until I play with them.
Tell me just a little bit about are there many juniors in Egypt? What's it like the junior scene in Egypt? What is it?
It's really competitive. I've noticed it's a lot more competitive than other areas of the world. We are a lot. I remember at some point in the nationals, we were about 1,800 or something competing all together, like all the events. So that was a lot. It's often really crowded when in the first few days of the tournament. So I feel that there's a lot of people that want to become professional players and they enjoy the game. So that's why I feel we have so much upcoming players and like players now, because how big the squash population is in Egypt.